The following segment is sponsored by Creative Society.
If you believe in Murphy's Law, an ignored heat pump or furnace will fail during the worst possible time in the coldest days of winter. The best way to avoid that disaster is preventative HVAC maintenance and also safety screenings. Sean McGraw from American Veteran AC is with us today. Hi, Sean.
Good morning, Margaret.
You always say that good maintenance is essential to the longevity, the efficiency, the reliability of all your systems, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's paramount.
Mm-hmm. And getting a technician to come out, perform a heat pump service could keep you from having that emergency on a cold winter day with your HVAC or your furnace. So what should a homeowner expect from a heating inspection?
Yeah, well, it depends on whether you have a heat pump or a furnace. So for a heat pump, really what we're going through, we're going to do an overall inspection on the system, make sure it's operating properly out the get-go. First thing we'll generally check is the airflow, making sure that it's getting the right amount of airflow going across it. So we'll start out on the inside, make sure everything's running through right, make sure your coils here are cleaned off well, that it's not trapping any dirt, the fan's putting out the proper blower speed that it's supposed to, creating the right CFM, check static pressures, make sure everything's good there. Then we'll move to the outside, make sure everything's working right there. Until we have the airflow set up, I can't really check the outside unit. The other big thing on a heat pump as well is making sure that your electric heat here is operating properly with all stages are kicking in, the defrost cycle is rolling the way it's supposed to, everything's coming in together. One of the big problems we see a lot of times in the heating season is a unit being overcharged in the summer, and then it goes to the heating season and pressures just raise up like crazy. So that's a big deal.
And you definitely want to keep people comfortable. You don't want their systems to just shut off, but safety is a big component because you don't want any combustible gases coming into the vents, right?
Absolutely, and that's when we roll into the furnaces, and there's a lot of things as well that we check on a furnace. So ideally on a furnace, first thing we're doing, again, is checking airflow. Airflow is the key to everything that goes across that system. If it's not getting the proper amount of air across it, then it's not going to operate properly. Beyond that, we'll check and make sure the gas pressures are set right. We're getting the proper amount of gas firing into the system, getting the proper amount of combustion air going into the system. Check all the safety switches. I come across a lot of furnaces and find out that somebody went out there at some point, the furnace wasn't working, and they just jumped out the safety switch. Well, that safety's there for a reason. If it's not operating correctly, if it was tripping for a reason. Beyond that, once we make sure that it's firing the way we want to, the last thing we end up doing is checking for any carbon monoxide coming through the airstream, and we'll also go in and check the heat exchanger itself. We'll dig into the heat exchanger with usually a flashlight and a mirror or borescope or all of the above, and go through there, and with the experience and the training that we've had, we know where the weak points are on specific brands and furnaces and where to look. So just a small hole that could be catastrophic in your whole home. Especially with carbon monoxide. The thing that people don't understand with carbon monoxide, a full-grown adult can handle a lot more of it than, say, a smaller child, because what it does is poison the blood. If you have a lot more blood in your system, it takes more time for it to affect you. Whereas if you have an infant in the house or a small child, it doesn't take as long because they have less blood, so it's less to poison.
And so you're really looking out for us before any problems happen. Your goal is to make sure these units are safe to operate and that we're comfortable in our homes. For anybody who doesn't know about American Veteran AC, talk to us about the kind of service people can expect when they work with you.
Well, to me, I think it's the most highly trained professional folks that you'll ever come across. I'm obviously biased on that. Over 50% of the folks that we have on board with us are veterans themselves. Through that, they've just acquired the skill set we bring to them themselves, but what I'm really looking for is the traits in their personality, that work ethic, that attention to detail, the integrity, the initiative, just the self-starter person that gets out there and gets stuff done and takes care of the end customer. One thing I didn't mention, I want to make sure I point this out, going back to the furnaces. If you have any gas-fired appliances in your home, you absolutely need a carbon monoxide detector in every room of the house, and make sure they're tested regularly. That's as far as I go on the safety on that, so I'll go back to you.
All right. Well, you'll make sure we're covered, and you always carry out that mission for us. People want to get a hold of you. The number 435-0822, or visit the website AmericanVeteranAC.com. Sean McGraw, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Margaret. Have a great day.